The next day, I brought Stinky out into our backyard for the first time. And as he was running around with my little dog, and I thought, golly, he is really kind to my little dog, and to my daughters, he plays so nicely. I was thinking to myself, it's true what Steve says. I can't even let that thought enter my mind that we ever keep him because he is too much dog for our family. He's big and he stinks and he's slobbery and he's horribly out of shape. Well, the dog was sniffing around on the lawn and all of a sudden the dog, he pooped. It was big. And I looked at that dog and I said, there's no way that I can clean up after you on a daily basis. I gotta find help here. So I got on the phone to every person I know who's ever told me they had a big dog or liked big dogs. And I said, please, he's a nice boy, would you like a dog? But they all said no. Clink. The next day, we were running around in the backyard with the dog, who we now were calling Happy, because he's such a happy boy. And all of a sudden, my 4.5-year-old daughter, Sully, she fell down the stairs, and she hurt herself pretty badly. Within minutes, Happy was at her side. He was licking her face, trying to help her get up, and when she didn't get up, he came and he got me. He grabbed me by the arm, and he brought me all the way to the scene of the accident. And then I saw him licking her face, and I thought, wow. This is a really nice dog. I like this dog. Don't get any thoughts in your head, said my husband. He is too much dog for our family. You're a rescue fanatic. You already have a dog and 2 cats and 3 frogs and a lizard and 3 turtles and 2 cats and 2 kids. What more do you need? He's awful nice, honey. Don't let that thought enter your mind, said my husband. That night, when I gave Happy a bowl of food and some water, could have swore he started to sing. I want to be your Pooch. I want to be your paddle. I want to be your doggy. I think you're swell. I stroked his head and I said, you know, I like you, but good night. I went into the house and I closed the door. Plunk. 2 whole weeks went by with Buster Brown. That's what we were calling him now. He just seemed more like a Buster Brown. And he was a really nice dog. He was getting along with my dog and with my kids, and he was so nice. But I kept thinking about the person who lost him and how sad he must be. And I decided that really the proper thing to do as a citizen is to take him to the dog pound to see if he had a microchip implant, to see if anybody, you know, had put one in there to try to identify him. All the way to the dog pound. He had his paws on my lap and his head on my lap, and he said, please, please don't get rid of me. I love your dog biscuits and I love your family. We arrived at the shelter in South Central Los Angeles. There's a beautiful mural on the outside of the building of dogs and cats in bright colors, and the gentleman who greeted us in his green uniform was equally cheery. He smiled and he said, good afternoon. Looks like you found yourself a nice big dog. Now, up until this point, I didn't really know what kind of dog this was. I thought he was probably part golden lamb, maybe a little bit bulldog, a little bit boxer. I didn't really know, and I didn't really care, because he just seemed like such a good boy. The man at the pound ran a scanner over him and said, he doesn't have a microchip, doesn't look like he belongs to anybody. Would you like to keep him? I said, gosh, I don't know. He said, he's a mighty nice pit bull. Excuse me? Yeah, he's a pit bull, said the gentleman. Really? What do you mean, really? I've been working here for 12 years. I know my dogs. Got 2 pits at home. They make the most wonderful family pets. You know, the media has made them into these vicious animals. But not all pit bulls are bad. It's the people that make them bad. The dogs aren't bad. The dogs are wonderful. Why don't you take him home and make him your dog? He is a sweet boy. But don't I need to leave him here for 2 weeks to see if anyone can identify him? Listen, lady, there are a couple of 100 pit bulls upstairs right now, and I'll tell you something. Most of them will not leave here alive. If you love him, take him with you. Please, take me with you. I love you. Okay, I'll take him, I said. All the way home, my girls were so excited. They were saying, and when we came home, we said to my neighbors who were outside playing, guess what? We positively identified Buster Brown. He's a pit bull. Oh my God, they said. The kids ran indoors, the parents wouldn't let them out, and one of my neighbors said, do you know that pit bulls have jaws that lock, and you can never get them open? Got really scared. I think, oh my God, he's a pit bull. What am I going to do? Decided to call someone who's a professional. I called the man who had trained my little dog, Romeo. He would know. Called Jim right away. I said, Jim, we found another dog. He said, you got a big heart. I said, yeah, let me tell you about him. And as I started telling him about my brand new pit bull, he said, you don't want to keep a dog like that. Pit bulls are like time bombs waiting to go off. And at any minute, they're going to explode and become vicious and violent. Oh, I hung up the phone. I was really scared. I looked out at my dog, and suddenly a man walked by our gate. He was walking another dog, and Buster Brown, he ran to the gate, and he started barking real big, and then he showed his teeth. Grr. Oh no, I can't keep him. I walked over to Buster, and I said, why did you bark so loud? Oh, I'm sorry I barked so big. I barked big because I'm a big boy. And as for my teeth, I got a big head. I'd look funny if I had little teeth. Please forgive me. I'm not going to use them on anybody. I'm just looking, please. Okay, boy. I was so confused. I didn't know what to do at this point. So I went to the pet store and I bought a book called Understanding Your Bull Breed Dog. It's a must for anyone who has a bulldog. And I started flipping through the pages, and then I realized that he wasn't exactly a pit bull. He was an American Staffordshire Terrier, about 20 pounds bigger than your average pit bull. He was actually a lineage that split off from the pit bull lineage about 100 years ago to be a family dog, a dog that's great with children and young folks. And well, he's a first cousin of the pit bull. I started reading this book, and then I decided to call another dog trainer, a man who specializes in bull breed behavior. The man calls himself a dog behaviorist. And when I got him on the phone, he said, bulldogs are nice dogs. Don't believe everything you read. The folks at the media don't know dogs like I know dogs. I had all these thoughts rattling around in my brain. Was he going to bite the mailman? Is he going to come vicious at the drop of a hat with his jaws clenched shut? I didn't know what to do. But I knew I had a whole day to think about it because the next day was Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the Jewish year. And I knew I had 8 hours to sit in synagogue and think. So I brought my book, Understand Your Bull Breed Dog. But don't tell anybody. But I put it in my camera. And I was reading along. And during the middle of the service, while everyone was praying to God for forgiveness, waiting for an answer, I was praying to God for an answer, all right? There's the answer, should I keep this dog? And all of a sudden during the service, I spontaneously felt myself start singing, I want to be your Pooch. I want to be your dog. And the woman sitting next to me, she nudged me and she said, what page are you on? I knew I was losing it now. I felt it was sacrilegious, but I really was torn up inside because you see, I really did like this dog an awful lot. And suddenly, the gates of heaven opened, and a voice came out, and the voice said, the answer is inside of you. Where? Where? I said. Just look for it. Well, I looked inside, and I started thinking about all the facts. Okay, he was still a big boy. But you know, there's something about hugging a big dog that's quite wonderful, especially one that looks like this. It has a big Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of chest. And I started thinking about the smell. He didn't smell stinky anymore, because now that I had bathed him 10 times and he was on a good dog food diet, he smelled quite good. And as for his sloppy kisses, I kind of liked those big sloppy kisses, and that he loved me. And as for cleaning up after him, well, my flowers, it never bloomed so good. And he was getting into much better shape, and so was I, and so was my husband, because when a dog looks you in the eye on a daily basis and says, come on, let's go for a walk, let's go for a walk, come on, come on, come on, come on, you have no choice but to take him for a walk. I was losing weight, I was feeling good, I was feeling healthy, and I thought, boy, this 3-year-old dog, because I learned he was only 3 years old, he was but a puppy, was bringing so much joy, and so much vitality, and so much health to my family. And then I thought about the fact that he's a first cousin of a pit bull. And I realized that I'm not the kind of person who judges other people or other dogs by their cover. I like to search for answers. What is that? All of a sudden, a voice came out, and the voice started telling me something else. Think about when you got the dog. Wait a second. It's no coincidence that the dog came to us on August 31st, the anniversary of my father's passing. He was a gift from my dad. Now, my dad would have never given me a Cocker Spaniel. He would need to give me a more controversial dog, so I would do some exercise in my brain. And if you read the book, Understanding Your Bull Breed Dog, you will know that all bull breed dogs need a lot of exercise to keep the ticker going strong. Thanks, Dad. What a wonderful gift. Right after services, I went to the pet store and I got a dog tag made with his new name, Angel. And when I came home that afternoon, I looked at my Angel and I started to sing this song as I put the tag around his neck. You are my dog, you are my pet, you are my Poochie, and I think you're swell. Oh, 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 oh. You can try it if you like. Oh, oh,